What's happening, guys? Goldie Black Ops Kid here, coming at you with another awesome video. So today we're going to be talking about Psychonauts 2. And honestly, I gotta say, Psychonauts is a big part of my childhood. I played this when I was about 10 years old, give or take. Actually, I was 8 when this game came out. Jesus, crazy. But this game came out in 2005, the first one, I should say. And it had a lot of crazy things going for it. And basically, the humor, the writing, the style of game, it was like almost a genre definer, almost. And it's a Double Fine Productions game. They made games like Grim Fandango and many other games. I will say, this has the same wittiness, charm, and everything that the original had, plus more. There are some great things about Psychonauts 2 that we'll go right into. The writing seems like it's been locked into a time vault for 15 years.
Here, young man. I don't know what you did, but I'm a man of my word.
We don't need it, because...
You're rich?
Yes, but we don't like to talk about it.
Oh, look at our little jackpot. When does it start fulfilling all of our unachieved ambitions?
Right after we use its identity to hide our excess taxable income.
Oh, it will be so nice to have a couple of spare kidneys around the house.
Game's writing is the same as it was in 2005 for the first Psychonauts game. Lots of jokes, lots of crude humor, adult humor. It is, I think, a rated T for teen game. So there is some obviously subjective things, but nothing too far out of the ordinary. You're obviously doing the same things you were in the first game, exploring people's minds outside, and then having outside platforming sections, side card challenge markers, powers. And this time they add some new things into the mix. There's Psy Blast, Telekinesis, Pyrokinesis, which is fire, Levitation, Clairvoyance, Mental Connection, Time Bubble, and Projection. Those are the 8 psi powers that you get. You can obviously upgrade these, which is something that's cool. You can also get pins from the vending machine, which allow you to gain more, do more damage with your psi blast. Or those require ranks, which every rank gives you 1 star. Every time you get a rank, it will continuously go up. Nothing that seemed really overpowered. Nothing that really seemed that good either, though. I would say the pins are probably the most thing you'll use the most. Other than that, the Psy challenge markers are pretty easy to get still, and the Psy cards are pretty easy as well. The mines are insane in this game. That was one of my favorite parts. So much witty humor. There's one where you go into a game show, and it's absolutely fantastic. What the writing does and the level design, the fun factor in the whole brain, so much fun. Obviously, Ford Cutler, he's back in this game, and there's a lot of reoccurring characters, a lot of stuff that connects the first game. So I definitely recommend to play the first one while you play this game, because there's a lot of differences that you can... It'll be a more enjoyable game if you've played the first one, is what I should say. Yeah, it's honestly, it's a phenomenal game. The platforming is great. The writing, the level design could be worked on. There's a couple open area parts that just feel kind of just open and then just kind of shut. I don't know. It's hard to really explain, really, without playing the game itself. But some of the level design is kind of dodgy. There is some, like, graphical visual issues sometimes on PC. But that's just, it's bound to happen with new releases sometimes. So that I don't falter on. It doesn't happen very often either. But yeah, basically it starts 3 days after the first game, and it plays just like everything else. The dentist guy in the first Psychonauts game, who was his boss, And that's basically the whole premise of the game, trying to figure out who the boss is. You find out who the boss is, you stop the boss, and that's the game. It's not really something that has to be drastically dived into, but if you were a fan of the first game, you definitely will be a fan of this game as well. Like I said, major improvements to the platforming and unclunkiness department. There are some changes to a couple of side powers, like the levitation does not last any as long as it did in the first one, as well as the gravity being greatly reduced, and the ball rolling technique. So there's a few things there. I will say that like I said, the characters, animation, the graphics don't look too bad either. They could obviously look way better, but it basically looks like they upgraded the game's original graphics and went with it, really. The characters are as witty and creative as ever than they have been in future or in the past title. That's just a double fine standard at this point. All characters just have so much character crafted into every single person. It's not just some generic dude with a beard. You know, it's got character. There's different skin tones. There's offset eyes. There's a specific hair that every character has. It's got so much personality into the characters, the dialogue, and that's probably one of the best thing that Psychonauts does. Is it dives its own lore within its own stuff, and really that is the best. I think there's going to be a Psychonauts 3. I really think that. And the reason I say that is because there's a lot of unanswered questions towards the end of the game that kind of make you feel like there's something going on even further down that Raz does not know. And it's an enjoyable experience, I will say that none the least. And out of 10, I would have to give this game an 8.5 out of 10. It's an absolute solid platformer with great witty humor. As it stands now, 100% completion is probably going to be meaningless unless there's a secret cutscene at the end. But right now, it seems like the game is it's one of the best platformers on Xbox currently. I'm waiting for them to do a Blinks the Time Sweeper remake. That would be pretty dope. Or a Blinks the Time Sweeper. I think there was a second game, so if a third one would be pretty interesting. But like I said, it's a solid platformer. It competes with some of the major bangers out there. It has a lot of great things going for it. Psychic powers, brains, replayability is definitely a huge thing. I really want to go back and experience the first level again. That was a really upturning part. I also want to go back and play that because once the sections are done, you cannot replay you can go back in the mines, but you can't replay the sections necessarily. So I really want to do that again. It was a really fun experience. Overall, it took me only 25 hours to get to the point where I'm at. I'd say it probably only takes maybe 18 to 19 hours to fully beat the game. And that's exploring and doing a lot of the side quests as well, but not fully 100%ing. So thanks, guys, for watching. Another great review. We'll have the 100% probably done before the end of next week, because I have a lot of other videos and other games planned ahead. Betas coming out for games, so I want to make sure to tune to that, as well as streams are going to actually be happening. I was hoping to get streams done before, but I've been off putting it. I've been working on a lot of side projects. So, guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more great content in the future.